Hi everyone, Dr. Tracy Thomas here, and I wanted to talk to you today about a myth that is really confusing for people. And it's so confusing that it gets in the way of people living their full potential. And this is the myth that because you're getting older, that you're supposed to be more tired, and that getting older and being more tired is just the way it is. Okay, and the fact is that it's not getting older that makes you tired. The fact is that it's the way you are emotionally as you're getting older that makes you tired. Okay, so the reality of what happens is that anywhere that we're going through life, where we might have what I call some cracks in our emotional foundation, right, where it may not be as strong as we need it to be, want it to be, and as strong as it can be, then we're going to feel a lot of stress. And so to the degree that our emotional foundation is not as strong and our emotional strength isn't as epic as it can be, then we feel stress. What happens is that people will feel anxiety, they'll feel overwhelmed, they'll feel disturbed by things, and they'll not be able to focus. They'll feel impacted by other people's emotions and situations, and they'll have stress responses. They'll have stress. They'll walk around in a lot of stress and tension and kind of bracing themselves, reacting, feeling overwhelmed. And when you have had that going on since the time you're a little kid, and you've gotten into maybe your 30s, your 40s, maybe even before for some people, that's been a lot of emotional wear and tear on you. And that is what makes people tired, right? There's a difference between, like, I went and did some sort of physical exercise and I feel some sort of physical tiredness. And there's a completely different thing between that and feeling the emotional exhaustion that comes from being a person for years and years and years of your life, from the time you're a little kid, and you just basically get worn out from that. You get worn out from where you're not emotionally strong enough. And the way that works is that, if you start out and you're a little kid and you're feeling stress, and, let's think about it. From the time we're little, we're like screaming and crying when we feel stress. In our whole lives, because we're not a culture yet that teaches people emotional strength. We don't really know what that is or how to do that. From the time we're all little, we are going through life feeling a ton of stress. In school, we feel it in our families. Depending on your family, you might feel a lot of it. And so stress is just this thing that is happening from the very get-go. And emotional regulation, emotional management, knowing how to be emotionally strong, that's not really a thing for most people. And in families, a lot of times the people that are doing the parenting don't feel that way either. And so there's a lot of emotional turmoil in families, and that is there for so long. Just think about it. By the time you hit 30, you've been dealing with that for a long time. And the more sensitive you are, right? If you happen to be someone like me and a lot of our clients, you are super intuitive, very sensitive. You can really feel the environment, feel everybody's feelings. Oh my gosh, my dad just had a feeling, and I feel really big response. If you've been doing that even 20 years, then you're going to feel emotionally exhausted. If you're like some of our clients, where years ago I started to see a trend where some of our clients were 18, 19, 20, 25, they were worn out emotionally. And guess what? Their physiology showed that too. Their physiology, when I had it all checked out, would show on their lab work that they had the physiology of like what a 60-year-old person would have who had lived 60 years or something of that emotional wear and tear. So all of that emotional challenge, because the emotional strength isn't where it needs to be, that really takes a toll. And that starts to develop so many different things for people. It develops anxieties, depression, fatigue, overwhelm, and all kinds of things that people do to try to just manage through life in a way where they feel really emotionally raw and exposed and impacted. So you could even be 25 and feel like, oh my God, so exhausted. especially you get hit 30, right? We talk to people each month. There are people in their early 30s, and especially when people have hit their 40s, and for sure when people have hit their 50s and beyond. And, you know, people are just talking about how much exhaustion there is. And, you know, again, the myth is like, I'm getting older. This is what it is. And the fact is that, you know, you're just emotionally exhausted, and you're not needing to be that way. And what's so sad about this myth is that people can start feeling this so early. Let's say they feel it at 30, or even let's say they don't feel fatigued until they're 50. Maybe that's the case. Instead of having your entire life where you are full of energy and strength, and you gain so much emotional strength as you go that you feel stronger and better, what happens for most people is they hit some sort of level of fatigue, and then they spend half of their life, maybe 60%, and in some cases like 3/4 of their life tired. And I can think of nothing worse and nothing more painful, you know, maybe there's a few things worse, than being tired. It is the ultimate pain. It is the ultimate heartbreak of not being able to live your potential as a person. And it is the ultimate heartbreak because even when you're doing stuff, you can't receive what it is. You're not connected. You're just going through the motions. And what is so frustrating for me about this myth is that, you know, when I was told at 30, like, you're 30 now, you're tired, I was like, are you kidding? I just started out. I've got tons to do. What am I going to go the next 60 years taking naps at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? And I want to go out and play and live, and I want to create, and I want to cultivate and lead and experience things. I thought to myself, no freaking way. That cannot be the case. Why would our creator create us so that we hit that stage and then I'm alive on the planet now, maybe the next 60 years, even if I was only alive for another 20 years? Why would it be that way? And I'm a really practical psychologist. Something doesn't make sense, and I don't think it's really true. So why would we be here with a lifespan, you know, into our late 80s, and it's different for men and women, I know, but why would we be here with the capacity, with all of our technology, our health technology, with all of the great landscape of life that there is to live now? It's such a wonderful, new, amazing world. Why would we be here for at least half of our life, in some cases more, exhausted and not living up to our potential and contributing and making an impact and enjoying our life, which is one of the greatest impacts we can make? Why would we be here and be exhausted by that point and then have the rest of our life to feel tired? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm really going to encourage you all to recognize that this myth is not true. And in fact, when you have your top emotional strength and you make that a primary developmental process, a primary priority for you, then you can have all the energy you want and you can access that energy at any time. Because emotional strength is what creates energy, and emotional weakness is what creates emotional fatigue. And if you're in a life that has a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people, you're going to feel a lot more fatigue because you need a lot more strength. The bigger your life is, the more things that are going on, and you're going to need more emotional strength if you want to create more exciting things in your life, have more people in it, have more fun, more impact, more exploration. You're going to need that emotional strength. All right. So when we just keep trying to push through and go through the motions, what happens is that people start falling apart. They start physically falling apart, imploding. They start to get headaches. They start to lose their hair. They start to not have memory anymore. Right? I had a 35-year-old client saying, I can't remember anything anymore. That's emotional fatigue. That is not getting old. Getting old, or aging as it really is, this is a chronological process. The calendar is going, you are here for a certain amount of days, minutes, years. That's chronology, right? And yet the people who are the healthiest and the happiest are the people who have the most emotional strength, people that are the wealthiest, the people that have that capacity. The people who have emotional strength which equates to energy. They're the ones with the biggest tool chest, the most fun, the most access to what they want, and the most enjoyment. They've got the ability to do what they want and create. And that's something that everyone has access to. And it's a matter of creating it from the inside out, but it does mean that you have to have a focus on building that emotional strength, right? Otherwise, the aging process looks like this. You get all this wear and tear. You start to kind of feel like you're maybe falling apart, maybe in your mid-30s. Maybe you're still pushing. You got your drive. You're pushing. You're pushing all the way through. You're in your 40s. You keep pushing. But deep inside, you go, God, I'm so freaking tired. This is no fun anymore. Maybe you try to have a little fun by overeating, over drinking, overspending, and you're just trying to get access to something that feels okay. So as people are getting this emotional wear and tear, and they're feeling so much stress, and that goes on and on and on, guess what? Their tolerance for it goes down. Now they're even more stressed. Screaming, reacting, yelling, overwhelmed, protecting, avoiding, just a complete slow meltdown that's going on. And then for some people, it's a huge one. So as that stress is continuing and the emotional wear and tear is so just strong on the person, is so extreme, it's so continuous and progressive, the person starts breaking down, but they keep trying to do stuff because that's who we are. We want to do stuff in life. So even if you slow down, you're still trying to do, at least you're trying to do some basic things for life. You've got to work, you take care of yourself, got to take care of your family. And as the person's pushing through, they're getting more fatigued, they're getting numb. And what's going on there is, they're completely empty from that emotional strength, but the body is still having to perform. So the body starts melting down even more. Right? We start to get autoimmune diseases. We start to get chronic pain. You name it. You start to get all kinds of issues. All of a sudden, people have back pain. They have all kinds of stuff going on. Skin issues. All kinds of things, right? This is all developing from emotional stress. The body is imploding. It's falling apart from the inside out. Then you start to go, oh, now I got to go to the doctor for this. Now I got to go to the doctor for this. But guess what? I'm getting older, so my new job is going to be to go to the doctor for everything for the rest of my life. And as a sidebar, for people who are really struggling with this, sometimes by the time people hit their teenage years, they're already on this path. They're overwhelmed, they're anxious, they're ADD, they've got a bunch of problems, their gut, isn't working, they have digestive issues, and it's happening earlier and earlier for people. But back to people where they've gone through a little bit more of life. So then they've got all these issues, right? You've been going along, you're doing all of this, there are digestive issues, some people are getting all kinds of illnesses, they're miserable, they can't be connected in their relationships, and this whole thing sits in the myth of, I'm getting older, and being tired, and just tired. And it's such a mind game, right? This is such a bill of goods that have been fed to us. Because then what happens is you go, okay, now I'm going to take 57 supplements. I'm going to go to every doctor. I'm going to try to fix everything. And that's fine because you can get a little bit of support from that. But you never are going to feel the way that you would feel if you were emotionally strong from the inside out and you didn't experience stress. You had an immunity to stress so that you could be connected to things but not be impacted by them. You could know they're occurring and do what you want about them but not feel the overwhelm, not feel the emotional strain. So this whole bill of goods is really fascinating. So it's like, now I'm going to be on the track of spending all my time and my money on these issues and doctors and basically feeling exhausted all the time. And then I'm going to put on a happy face, right? Because I want to be there for my friends, my family, my partner. Deep down, I'm like, somebody just give me a nap and the clicker, and then I'm going to do that. But then you're out taking a nap, you're watching TV, and you're thinking, my whole life is passing me by and everybody's having fun. And boom, years are going by. And what have I done? I completely am slowing down. And is this what it's going to be like? So as this goes on, if we're not changing on an emotional level, we're hitting all these other kinds of milestones in life and it's getting worse. And, all kinds of things are happening. People just begin to fall apart. And what it looks like in the regular experience for people, the standard experience, is that then aging is just this downhill, Humpty Dumpty falling apart, and all the fun is over and everything is behind you. And yet you've got years and years left to go. Even if you've got 20 years, that's a long freaking time to be tired. If you've got 30, 40, and imagine what life might be like and how long you might live if you were emotionally strong and you did not play into this myth. So if you can just conceive of now that the myth is that getting older is what makes you tired, and it's not. It's your emotional experiences that make you tired as you're chronologically developing. And when you change on an emotional level and you build a new foundation, then you are not even anywhere near playing in the aging game that other people are playing. Whatever your chronological age may be, you get to reverse it. You get to feel alive. You get to feel powerful and young, no matter what chronological age you are. So this is really important for everyone because, again, I can think of nothing more painful than being chronically tired and having an entire life ahead of you where everything you're doing, you feel tired. When you're done with it, you feel tired. When you're thinking about doing it, you feel tired. And then you're trying to think, how am I going to take care of myself for the rest of my life? How am I going to do all the things that I need to do? And that begins to create even more emotional strain. And this does not look fun. This makes it so that like most of our life is spent in a scenario where it's like, God, this doesn't sound very great. Like, why am I signed up for this program? And it's really, if you'll just kind of take a moment and say to yourself, why would it be this way? Because the way that I always am able to change things for my life and the people that I care about and our clients is that I look at things that make zero sense. And I know they're not meant to be that way. There would be no benefit from people getting completely and totally exhausted and not being productive and contributing in the way that they can. There's no benefit to society from you opting out from emotional fatigue. There's no benefit to any of it because it's not the way it was intended. So the way it's supposed to be is that being emotionally strong is something that changes everything for people. This, in fact, is the keys to the kingdom for enjoying life. And being emotionally strong is something that no matter how fatigued you've ever gotten before, no matter what's happened, no matter what you've been through, doesn't matter what it is, how depressed, how tired, how many health symptoms, all of this can be different when you recognize that you're out of the emotional juice that you need, and therefore you're out of gas, and that you have a decision to make. Do you want to spend the next 50, 20, 30, 10, whatever years you have left tired? Because aren't you really tired of being tired? God, it's so exhausting to be tired, right? Do you want to spend those years being tired and having so much of your energy about how tired you are inside yourself? You're just like, I'm so tired. And you're just like a zombie going through life. Do you want to spend it that way? Or would you like to develop the emotional foundation and the emotional strength that can give you back energy almost pretty much immediately when you start to do it? And that can give you reservoirs and more, just reservoirs of energy that just keep growing and growing as you train yourself in what we call emotional strength training, which is really fun and really quite easy to do, by the way. And it makes everything make sense that doesn't make sense. So it's just a question for you. Do you want to spend your life being tired? Are you sick of being tired? Do you want to buy into this myth that this is just the way life is, and for this whole long ass chapter of your life that's coming up, you're going to feel this way? And guess what? It's just going to get progressively worse because your body has less and less and less tolerance for stress if you don't change anything. Like, do you want that? Or would you like to make a shift and grow your emotional foundation in a really short period of time, get the energy and the life force back flowing in you more than you maybe ever felt it in your entire life, and go through your life feeling high energy, high emotional strength, vitality, focus, clarity, health, happiness, wealth, being able to just be motivated and strategic and following through, engaging, exploring, and, just squeezing the juice out of life, getting the potential out of it, maxing it out and enjoying it. Is that something that you're interested in doing? Because if you are, just don't buy into this myth, and maybe we should have a conversation about it. And we'd look forward to talking to you about how this works, what's going on with you, how you're feeling, and what's possible, right? Because we don't know until we connect and see what's going on with you, and see what we might be able to do about it. So either way, what I just want to say to everybody in this group is, and everybody who's watching this video, is whatever happens, if you do one thing in your life and you do not buy into this myth, and you say to yourself that that as I age, as I grow as a person, I can grow stronger and stronger and gain more energy every day. If you just shift that belief for yourself, then there'll already be a massive change in your energy just from that. And I wish you all the success that you can possibly gain from just changing that belief. Okay, everyone. So look forward to talking to you. And if you'd like to connect with us, you can reach us at drtracyinc.com/apply. That's drtracyinc.com/apply. Take care.